thought I'd do a last video of a sort of a summary of what I've actually done to the scooter. Now I got the scooter end of November last year, so it's coming up to 8 months I've had it. Now there was a lot of time where nothing happened when we were doing house renovations and things like that. I got the scooter cheap. Well, it was cheap in price. I'm not sure I got a cheap scooter, because I've actually ended up spending a fair bit of money on it. The story was, it was an old guy's. The scuffs and bangs were him bringing it down an alleyway to the back of his house. The guy I bought it off was a dealer. He was his mate. He serviced it for him. I serviced it all the time. It was really well serviced, blah blah blah. Anyway, none of that really adds up. So I'll go from the front to the back and tell you what I've done and why I've done it. And I'm not going to give you the prices for everything, because you'll be able to work out roughly where we are anyway. But anyway, here we go. So front end, right, new tires. There are Bridgestone hoops on it now. There was, if I remember rightly, there was a Heidenau on the back, which looked like a trailer tire. It was a very, very square and flat profile. And there was some Chinese shear slide on the front. Okay, decent tires on it now. Really, it handles lovely. There are new brake pads front and rear. Now, as it turned out, the brake pads were fairly thick, the original ones, but there are proper nice EBC ones in now. I don't know where or what the other brake pads were. Okay, what else have we done? There are bright white LEDs in the side lights now, which are like DRLs. They're a bit more visible, because the original side lights were like candles. They were shite, basically. Everything else in the front here is pretty much as was. I'll get to the GPS and what have you in a moment. When I first got it, I took the screen off, and I've had it out because it was out on a run. Whatever way this top fairing here is designed, it puts the wind right at the bottom of your helmet and up through the helmet, which wasn't very pleasant. So I put the screen back on, and it deflects it more or less over the top of the helmet. So that's the only reason I did that. You can see it, every panel has got a wee scuff or a bang on it somewhere. So you've here, and there's wee scuffs and bangs here. They're everywhere, don't worry about that. Any cracks in the panels were repaired. Okay, handlebars. This is a cheap Chinese Android Auto CarPlay remote display for your phone. I'm trying it out. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Who cares? Right. It basically gives me Google Maps there. It's waterproof. It's supposedly waterproof. We'll see how it goes. It has Bluetooth. It will go into the earbuds. I also have Bluetooth in one of my other helmets. This is an old world GPS. Now, that's about, it must be the gut to 20 years old. It's very nice because it automatically logs journeys. Every second it will log your location, your altitude and your speed, and puts it into a KML file, and you can upload it to Google Earth. And it's just a lovely wee thing to have. It's also very good I can set it up so it shows me my current speed and my max speed. Anyway, that's just me being me. Anyway, underneath here, because I had problems with the battery going flat, I've stuck a wee voltmeter on just so you can see what's happening day to day or hour to hour. Battery seems to be charging, that'll confirm it. So as we move further back, under the seat, obviously I've told you there's a new battery. The other, as well as doing all the final drive stuff, it's had a full service. So we've got a plug, air filter, oil change, all the usual checks, blah blah blah. Now, let me get down here. The air filter was in here. It looked like the air filter hadn't been changed in 20,000 miles. It was absolutely black. If you go back through the videos, I can't remember which one it is, there is video of it, it was pigging. The oil filter is under there. It was a pattern oil filter. It was actually the same make oil filter that I use anyway, so, but I don't know when it was changed or if it was changed. The oil that came out of it was all right. Now obviously you know that I've replaced every bearing and seal in the final drive. In my opinion, the oil had never been changed in the final drive. There wasn't enough in there and it was in really poor condition. We also have the new Bridgestone hoop on the back here. I've also changed the rear shocks as a unit, so they're new springs and dampers. I don't particularly think there was anything wrong with the old ones, but they were in very poor condition, so I'm going to get all of those cleaned up, get the springs off them, get the springs repowder coated, and I'm not going to bother getting the dampers re-chromed, but I'll get them all cleaned up and spray them up, and I might put them back on because they're original Honda ones. So that's everything that's been done. I'm going to take the bike out for a few shakedowns, and basically it'll be just run out back to the house, longer run out back to the house, so on and so forth, until I'm convinced that the battery is charging, because that was a pain in the arse getting caught with no battery. I will throw the Chinese lithium thing under the seat, so at least if I get caught out and about, I can get restarted. I need to convince myself of two things: that my oil seal problem is fixed and that my charging problem is fixed. So that's really it for now. I will report back once I'm happy that I can trust the bike, because that's the biggest thing. There's no point having a bike you can't trust. You'll just sit and look at it and never use it. So once I've convinced myself I can trust the bike, I can declare it commissioned, shall we say. So bye for now, and I'll report back in a week or so. Well, it's been out for a run. You can see on the trip there, it's 22.7 miles. The battery charged. The Chinese GPS Android Auto thing worked. This worked, but it switched off. And I'll just switch this off here. Everything performed as it should be. So I'm going to tacitly declare this road usable. I need to take it for a few more wee runs, and there's a good hoof I can go over at the weekend up to a wee spot I go to in Island McGee. Look it up on Google Maps. Port Muck it's called. It's a nice wee spot. But that's about 30 miles from here, so it's a 60-mile run there and back. It's a good selection of roads. There's motorway, there's good A road, and there's enjoyable B roads. There's also a very, very steep hill, which will, if anything's going to test if the drive belt is slipping, that's it. Apart from that, on the 22nd, the Monday, it's booked in for MOT. But it was an enjoyable run. As I say, everything worked as it should. It's a good grippy thing. Well, they're decent Bridgestone tires. You can give it, see lovely smooth bends, flowing bends. Handles really, really well. It's a wee bit more upright than I'm used to, but I'll get used to that. So anyway, I'll put the video series to bed for now, and we'll get on with the Lister static engine. Woohoo! Bye.